What hurt the most?
I think the chancla.
The chancla.
The chancla for sure. It's very iconic, I guess, in old Mexican families, but it's true. The chancla is real.
And my dad thought you were drunk, and he's waiting for you with the belt. And he's like, and this is gonna sound pretty gay, but he's like, soplame. He's like, blow me.
I remember that he kicked you, and like he kicked you, boom, and you just jumped like he even picked you up, bro. That's how hard he could get you.
How do you think you've changed since in the last 2.5, almost 3 years now, since losing mom? All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of A-Town Talk, the #1 podcast in Anthony, Texas, and
The only one.
We're back, guys. I know last episode we said we were going to take a break, and we didn't know when we were going to be recording, but it just happened that we had some time to shoot an episode, and my brother was around, so we're like, fuck it, let's knock out a pod.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks.
So we're here today.
Yeah.
What's up?
We're really doing this.
We're doing this finally.
Thanks for the invite. I'm your last resort.
Yeah. Views are down. Nobody's watching. Nobody wants to be on. And I was like, you know what? Let's let them on.
Dick.
So yeah, we got my brother. You saw him. What was it, like 2 episodes ago when we did the sort with at the Doñana County. He was one of the panelists on there. But there you were, Lieutenant Lozano, and today you're just Ellen, aka Big L.
Big L?
Big L.
That's my podcast name now?
It's gonna be your podcast name. You've been baptized.
Big L.
Big L.
All right, cool. I'm down.
So what's up, bro? How you been, man?
I'm not gonna lie, it's just kind of weird.
It is weird.
It is weird because when you see it on TV, it looks very easy. But once you're here, I think it changes.
Yeah.
You start feeling a little nervous, and it's
Yeah.
different because the last time we were at the DC with all the boys, I felt like more comfortable because I was in my environment and I was with the guys, and I felt a little bit more free. Right here, I feel like I'm casting.
Yeah. This is the casting couch.
Even though this is our parents' house, your house, like I've lived here all my life, but I feel like I'm somewhere else. There's cameras everywhere, lights everywhere, and it's a whole different experience.
Yeah, it's different, bro. And you know what? I've thought about that. So I want to start off by saying thank you, first of all, because you've been a supporter since the day one. I know I give you a lot of shit and I call you dumbass and idiot all the time, but you've been supporting since the very beginning. And you always share, you always repost whenever there's a new episode. I would say you are a #1 fan.
I am the #1 fan.
You are the #1 fan.
Probably your only fan.
Yeah, at this point it is. But I wanted to say thanks for that, man, because it means a lot. Even though I don't say it all the time. We don't ever get really emotional with each other. We're kind of always just joking around.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, that means a lot. So, thanks for that, dude. Appreciate that.
Thank you, bro, for finally inviting me.
Mhm.
Even though I was your last resort, everybody bailed out on you, but I had some time, and it was my only day off. I worked 4 days straight. I worked 12-hour shifts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I worked 4 days straight. I worked the whole weekend. I worked Monday, and then today's my day off, and then I work back tomorrow, the next couple of days. But this is something I've been wanting to do for a while. But like I said, right now it's kind of weird. Once you're here, you're like, oh, maybe I don't want to do this.
Yeah, And that was another thing with me. It was that I never knew like how to do a podcast with you because you're my brother. Like
I
we s-
raised you.
I guess.
No, I did.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did. I
yeah.
fucking raised
You
you.
did. Um,
I made you the man you are right now.
well, dude, it's not much of a man right now. So you did a shit job at that, bro.
I did a shitty job.
No, just kidding. But yeah, it's weird because like you're my brother and like I know you like and I'm like what the fuck do we talk about for an hour? Because we already talk pretty often and it's just it's different, you know?
Mhm.
But then once I started to think about it, you know, and I sat down, I'm like, well, let's start off with your childhood because you are older than me. You're 12 years older,
Yeah.
something like that. And your childhood is very different than my childhood, even though we have the same mom and dad. Uh, and I mean,
Do we?
that we know of, that we know of. Yeah, you do have green
I
eyes.
got very nice. You have brown eyes or
That's
black.
true.
What are they? Green?
They're
Blue?
brown. Some might say even hazel on a good day.
When the sun shines on them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when there's like 1,000 lumen blasting in my eyes. Uh, but yeah, you grew up very different than me. And I think like our childhoods were different because for one, you were raised in Mexico for a good chunk of your life.
Uh, a good chunk of my childhood. My
Childhood.
childhood.
Yeah.
Mostly till I was like 7 or 8.
Hmm.
I went to school in Juarez. I was born here in El Paso, so don't fucking call ice on me. I was
He's got
born.
an American flag behind him, guys.
I blend in. I got the green eyes and everything. But no, I was born here in El Paso. My dad was actually working over here in Anthony, and he would commute every day.
Mhm.
He would go back and forth from Juarez to El Paso. Yeah. But we did live over there till like I was like 7. I went to school there till second grade. Yeah.
Do you remember a lot of life over there when you were a kid? Because I mean, it's kind of hard to remember when you were a kid. But do you have memories of
Yeah,
being over
for
there?
sure, bro. I remember my friends, and I hope they're some of them follow this and stuff. Well, there's one that I still keep in contact on Facebook. Once in a while, we kind of chat and stuff. But Renato, pero yeah, I remember a few of my friends. I remember back in those days was different, I believe, because it was those days when kids used to go outside and play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we used to be since we got out of school, we get home. My mom always had dinner. We'd eat dinner, and then we go outside and play. We couldn't wait to go out there and play, so we always be in the street.
Yeah.
We'd be on our bikes, our skates, whatever. You know, we were always playing in the street like all day long. In the summer, the same. So it was pretty nice. Childhood, it was chill. We lived in a pretty nice neighborhood. Thank God that my dad, like I said, he was working over here, so um we lived in a pretty decent neighborhood, and me and Amy actually went to a private school.
Amy's our older sister.
Yeah,
So you're the middle child.
I'm the middle
You're the
child.
middle child.
Yeah,
I'm the baby.
yeah, el pilón.
El pilón.
We went to a private school, dude. It was like I remember the school because I always tell my friends that like that school in Juarez was like it felt like a military because it was everyday uniform
Yeah.
and they were very strict. And then there was like when you get here, like there's grass in the schools, playgrounds. Over there, everything was concrete and super high walls. It looked like a prison. And then if you misbehaved, you did something wrong, you get swatted in your hands. Like they will make you put your hand like that. And they will hit you with the ruler in the
With the
hands.
rulers?
Yeah, I still caught some of that swatting back in the day.
Now that shit's fucking child abuse.
Yeah, you can't do that shit no more. Even when we moved over here, they were still doing the SWAT. The principal, you go to the principal's office
Mhm.
after so many, I don't want to say write ups because that's not a jail, but after so many fuck ups, I guess.
Like reprimations and
Yeah, reprimands, whatever. Okay, this time you're gonna get a SWAT. So you go to the principal's office,
Mhm.
and then shout out to Anthony High School, and Yeah, I remember the guys when they would get sent to the principal's house. They knew they were gonna get swatted. They would go. They would stop at the restroom
Yeah.
and they would stuff their pants with toilet paper because they were gonna get the SWAT. So I never got swatted here, but I think Amy did.
Yeah, Amy was always more of a troublemaker when
Amy was a rebel.
a rebel when she was younger, huh?
Yeah,
It's weird now because now she's the complete opposite.
Yeah, for sure. Amy, when she was young, she was crazy. She would beat me up.
So that's another thing that like your childhood was different than mine. Was that you and our sister Amy, you guys grew up together basically 2 years apart, a year and a half, 2 years, something like that.
Yeah, like 2.5.
So you guys grew up together. You guys actually fought. You guys would fight. You guys would actually do a lot of things.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day. We were your typical brother and sister, you know.
Mhm.
We would fight, and then at the end of the day, like, you know, like I couldn't hit her because my parents were strict believers on not hitting girls, no matter what. But she would piss me off, and and I would end up hitting her, and then I would get in trouble for it.
Mhm.
Like my dad he'll hit us with the belt.
Yeah.
The belt was like that was like the main tool my dad used. It was like he'll even like he'll go like that to it, you know,
Like whip it.
like whip it. He'll grab it. So we would get in trouble, and then my mom would like, oh, vas a ver con tu papá cuando llegue el trabajo. Yeah, she would rat us out when my dad would get home from work. My dad would just get home from work all tired, and then my mom would be like, hey, well, you need to hit this guy. You need to spank him, and he wouldn't even question it, bro. It would just be like, come here, and
Little
then
ass whooping.
yeah, he'll give us an ass whooping, and then he'll ask my mom like, why did I hit him? And then well, he did this and that. I was like, okay, like no
Shit.
questions asked, bro. No
Damn.
questions asked.
I've never been spanked by my dad. He's never. I think my mom like slapped me once that I remember, but other than that, I've never been.
Yeah, they never hit you.
I was never hit.
You were a good kid. I got spanked. My mom hit us with the chancla many times. Like she would hit us with anything, with the fly swatter, anything that she would find on her path, she would fucking throw it at us.
What hurt the most?
I think the chancla.
The chancla.
The chancla for sure. It's very iconic, I guess, in old Mexican families, but it's true. The chancla is real.
Yeah.
It's real. That shit's real. My dad was, of course, the belt. Yeah.
This is causing PTSD.
It was like those leather chanclas, you know. That's why it hurt the most.
Yeah.
But I think the one that got her the worst was my sister, because they would hit Amy more than me. Because Amy was the one that you would spank her,
Mhm.
and then she wouldn't cry. She would get mad. She would get more angry. The more you hit her, the more angry she would get.
She's like the Hulk.
She was like the Hulk, like the mini Hulk, because she was like this small, you know.
Yeah, she still is.
But me, I was smart. After a while, I got smart because before they even hit me, I was already on the floor crying.
So you were like dramatic.
I was very dramatic because I was like playing it, dude. Because I was like, I'd rather take a couple of fucking swats or whips with the belt than a beating like Amy.
Damn.
Yeah, I even got punched by my dad once.
Oh shit! Like fucking fist.
I mean, this is nowadays it would be considered child abuse.
Shit.
Nowadays it's considered child abuse. So parents out there hearing us, like, don't fucking punch your kids. The reason, but I was already a teenager.
Okay.
I was like 14, 15.
Okay. Yeah.
So my dad was yelling at me for something, and I didn't want to listen to him, and he kept yelling at me, and then he got in my face. So I fucking jumped up. I was sitting down on the bed, I think, and I jumped up and I squared up on him. And I think that was the biggest mistake. Because when I squared up on him and I told him, like, I don't remember what I told him, but I just know that as soon as I got in his face, he fucking clocked me in the face. Boom.
Damn.
He fucking clocked me, and then he knocked me down. And then I was like, holy shit. Like, because I was in that age where you think, like, you're growing already, you're stretching, and you're like, I can take him, you know? Hell no. My dad fucking, I don't know where that punch came. Like, he fucking threw a haymaker, and he knocked me down. And then my mom got in the middle. My mom started crying, no, leave him alone, leave him alone. You know, being the the typical alcahueta mom, you know, like,
Yeah.
no, leave him alone. She first ratted me out, and then she's crying because he's beating me up, you know.
It's like, it's your fault. You
It's your
got me
fault,
into this.
lady. It's your fault. He's hitting me. But yeah, that one day, I learned never ever to square up on my dad because he was gonna fucking knock me out.
Bro, I remember one time where you were already grown, you were already like a teenage, well, you were already working and stuff. And our parents were strict back in the day. We were very religious, so we grew up like in a Christian church and stuff like that. Um and so like drinking and all that was like super like frowned upon and bad. So you were a bit rebellious. You would go out with your friends and do shit. And the one time that you came home sober, and like you were just, I think you were working or something. You came
Yeah.
home and my dad thought you were drunk and he's waiting for you with the belt. And he's like, and this is gonna sound pretty gay, but he's like, soplame. Which is like, blow me, you know? But he was saying like he was trying to give you like the breathalyzer.
Yeah, he was
And
just telling me to he wanted to smell my breath.
yeah.
Uh, and I was like, what? Why? He's just telling me supplement. I'm like, why, Dad? I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Blow me. And he was ready to beat your ass, dude, and I was just like,
I don't
oh
know
shit.
why. I think Amy, I don't know. Amy did a lot of evil things. I think Amy must have told him something so they can get it, so I can get me in trouble.
Yeah.
So, but no, yeah, that time for sure I wasn't. All the times that I went out drinking behind their backs, when I was young, a teenager, and I would get drunk with my friends, I never got caught.
Mm-hmm.
Never got caught. And that one time that I wasn't, I was really working. Like he was trying to kick my ass.
Yeah. But I never got any of that. My parents were very different around with me. And I think about that because when they had me, they were in their 30s. When they had you guys, they were in their teens. Like my dad was like, my dad was 20 when he had you, around there, early 20s.
Yeah, they had Amy. Like my dad was like 18
Mm-hmm.
when they had Amy. My mom was like 16. See, those days were different. You know, like it was pretty normal for Mexican couples to get together that young. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
I just think dad had like a weak pullout game, dude.
Yeah. So the thing is that my I don't know, my dad used to party back in the day. You know, they weren't Christian or they weren't
Yeah.
into church yet or anything. So I think either when I was born or when Amy was born, he was out for a few days. So the compadre had to take my mom to the hospital.
He was on a bender.
I think it was mine, yeah.
Damn.
'Cause I was in El Paso. So they had to go find him and hey, you're having a kid already. So yeah.
Yeah. See, I never saw that side of my dad. When I was born, parents were already like Christian and they were already like churchgoers and stuff like that. So I saw a very, very different side of mom and dad, which was pretty crazy. Which is another thing that I want to talk to you about was those Christian days. I mean, we're still believers in Christian, but not like fanatically religious anymore.
Mhm.
I think back in the day it was kind of like that, where it was a bit too extreme. Um, but you were very involved in the church, and you were a musician. That's kind of like one of those secret talents that a lot of people don't know about you. You have.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I was like 12 years old when I started getting into the music because
Mhm.
when we were like 8, my parents turned Christian, and then we started going to this church in Juarez. It was a huge church, Vino Nuevo. But then when after a while they didn't want to travel so much every weekend to Juarez because we're already living over here. So my dad knew Pastor Jose Luis Vasquez. He
Mhm.
knew him from work. You know, en paz descanse el pastor. He knew him from work, and they were friends. And then he's like, "Hey, well, we go to Puerta del Cielo, but we're gonna start a new church and this and that." And he's the one that kind of talked my dad into about God in the first place.
Mhm.
He gave my dad a Bible and stuff like that. So my dad was like, "Yeah, well, for sure. Like, we'll support you in this and that." So they started the church here in Anthony. It was a little church over there by by I don't remember what street it is. Was it like 6th Street,
Mhm.
something like that? It's a tiny little church, and this man and his family started going to that church, and they were musicians. His son, he was way older than me, so he started teaching people. Like every Saturday, they had music classes. So I got interested, and I went because I wanted to play the drums, and I started learning the drums. And then after that, like I started playing in the church, and then I just kind of started learning on my own because that man left the church, and then I was just kind of like learning on my own. I would see on TV like drummers, and sometimes we go to another church still, and I would learn from that drummer over there in Puerto del Cielo.
You're a little drummer boy.
Yeah, and I kind of learned on my own, picking up things here and there from different drummers, and then to the point that I think I got pretty good at it. I got pretty good at it. I started learning other instruments. Like I started learning the guitar. I learned the bass a little bit, the piano. I know like the keys and stuff like that. And I got really into the music. And at some point, I was like the worship leader for the youth.
Mhm.
So we started like that. And dang,
How old were you there in that picture?
I was 12, dude.
That's when you first started
That
learning
was
the
my
drum.
first drum set. Can they zoom in on this or no?
I'll put them
You
up
can
on the
post it.
screen. Yeah.
That was my first drum set, bro. I remember that. That was that old church, yeah. Yeah, I was 12 years old right there. And damn, those were good times. Yeah, I just started learning, bro, and started picking it up, and with the years, with practice and practice and practice and playing at church, eventually, um, we started like the youth band. We started playing with on the adult side, the adult services, because we got pretty good, and then we started playing on Wednesdays with the adults, and I started being the worship leader for the adults too.
Mm.
And then I was like I was like 20 maybe. That was before I got married the first time. And yeah.
The first time.
Let's not get into that part of my life.
Yeah. I found this picture, dude. I found this picture hilarious. How old were you here?
Fuck, dude. You gonna do me like this?
Yeah, bro.
Damn, I was like 13, bro. I was in 3rd grade. No. How old was I? How old are kids in 3rd grade?
Shit. I don't know. Dude, I don't have kids.
How old is Aaliyah?
7. She's 2nd grade.
So I
You were like 8 or 9, maybe.
was like 9 right here, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like 9 because I was in 3rd grade. Damn, dude, I did have a turtleneck. So my friends, my friends that I hang out with now, Ilano, shout out to Richard. Richard, he's always in Mercado. They're always making fun of me because they said that when I was small, I was like a rich kid.
Yeah.
So there's an old novela from back in the day, a kid's novela. It was called Carrusel de Niños. And in that novela, there's a little kid that comes out. He's rich. He's a rich kid. He's got like those Power Wheel cars,
Yeah.
but they were like sports cars, like luxurious cars. And he was always like wearing like a turtleneck.
Yeah.
And then
Typical rich kid.
yeah, typical rich kid. And so, fuck, I didn't know it was true. I thought he was just talking shit. And like, he made it happen, dude. He made it like become real, I guess. I didn't know I wore a turtleneck.
Well, like, I mean, you guys were pretty, I would say, well off.
Wilano's always making fun of me that I was a rich kid and I wore a turtleneck when I was a kid. I'm like, I never wore a turtleneck in my life. But nah, we lived good. Like, thank God that my dad was always a hard worker.
Mm-hmm.
He always worked. We weren't rich, but we lived pretty cool, pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't need anything. I know that at some point there was a time in our family's life that we went through some pretty bad moments. Like we almost lost a house, and I don't know what would happen. I was too young to understand what was going on with my dad's job and the bills and stuff. And we got to a point that we didn't have money.
Was that story of that Christmas where my dad didn't have money to buy you guys gifts, so he got like random stuff?
Yeah, you were little.
Yeah.
he went and borrowed money from a friend
Mhm.
to buy us Christmas gift. He borrowed like $40, I think, and he bought me some socks. I still remember they were like those Dickies socks. They were brand Dickies.
Yeah.
He bought me some socks. And he bought you a muscle shirt. You used to like muscle shirts when you were a little kid.
Fuck yeah.
He got you a muscle shirt, and I don't know why he got Amy. And I don't remember. So yeah, we didn't get gifts that year. Like that's all we got for Christmas, and we weren't we weren't demanding. We didn't cry. We didn't bitch about it to our parents. Like we could. We were so small, but we understood. You know,
Mhm.
there's no money. There's no money. You know, but that's one of the nicest Christmas that I remember, dude. Honestly, we didn't have gifts. We didn't have anything. Like we almost lost our house, and we're going through a bad time. But that Christmas is probably the time that it has snowed the most I've ever remember, like around this region in Anthony. It snowed a lot, bro. We had like a blizzard. I remember I went outside and then like you couldn't even see outside. It was like a blizzard and it snowed and it was like thick snow, bro. And we were so happy playing in the snow on Christmas. Like we could care less about the gifts that year because God blessed us with snow and we were happy, you know. We did have the tamales, we did have the food and stuff. Thank God, but like we didn't care about the gifts, bro. Like it was so nice because it snowed and it was beautiful and it was I think it was like the most beautiful white Christmas that I can remember as a child, you know?
Yeah. Brown Christmas because we're Mexican.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I I don't think I've ever asked you this, but what was your reaction when the first time you met me when I was born? Do you remember that day?
I remember so my mom started having contractions and then I guess they didn't want to have us at the hospital and stuff. So they went and my dad went and dropped us off with my tia Lourdes in Juarez.
Mhm.
My dad was living over there still and my dad dropped us off over there and then he left to the hospital. And then when my mom had you, my dad came and picked us up, and I just remember that my dad was all happy. He was like singing and stuff. He was all excited because you were born. And he would call you el frijol.
Yeah.
They call you bean, el chicol. So he's all yelling chicol. He was all excited. I just remember when my dad was driving. He was all excited yelling chicol. And then yeah, uh we went to pick up my mom to the hospital, and I don't think we came straight home. I think we ended up going to my tia Luz's house first to show you off over there. And then, yeah, we came home. I was just like, damn, I don't know. I didn't know I don't remember, dude. I just remember you were like a little thing.
Do you have any memories of when I was little that stand out to you?
Oh, were you little?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you were like all fat because you used to breastfeed, and you got pretty gordo. My mom wanted to get you gordo 'cause she always wanted a fat kid. And then you were like if you pop up the picture pop up the picture when
Yeah.
you were pretty fat, dude. But
Didn't she breastfeed me till like I was 2 or some shit like that?
she breastfed you pretty big for
Yeah.
a normal kid. I don't remember exactly the age, but
I
yeah.
well, I don't remember, but I know stories and they say that I would talk and then I guess that I would ask for another for another tit, another teat.
Yeah, probably like one and a
Yeah.
half maybe. But that's what I remember, that you were just like a big old chunky baby and you were always smiling. That's what I remember.
One thing I have very fond memories of when I was a kid growing up was when we would play. You would play with me with the toys.
Oh, okay.
And toys with the toys.
With action figures.
Action figures. Yeah, dude. And I thought that was always cool. I had a lot of action figures. I was a big I like collecting like Marvel toys or GI Joes and DC. Like I had superheroes, and you would actually like take the time to like we would play and we would play together for like hours sometimes.
See, when I was a little kid, I used to collect um GI Joes
Hmm.
and Ninja Turtles. Those were my toys. action figures. I had all the Ninja Turtles, all the characters. I had their little layer, their band, the villains. I had all the Ninja Turtles and GI Joes. There were so many. So every week I would buy a different one. Every week with my allowance that they would give us like $6 allowance. That was our allowance. And we go to
Mhm.
La Feria that the Mercado I guess it's called now. But before it was La Feria, we used to go as soon as we would get our $6 on Friday on payday. I'll go to La Feria and I'll buy an action figure. They were like 5.50, 5.99. They were like equal to like $6.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And so when you came around, I was already like becoming a teenager. I was already a teenager maybe, but I still like my action figures, you know. And and I kind of wanted to pass that down to you, I guess.
Mhm.
That's what I would teach you how to play with monitos and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
but I guess deep down, like low key, I still enjoy playing with them.
Yeah.
But I didn't want my friends to find out.
So you use me as an
So I would use you and I would just tell you, just sit there and watch me play. And if someone comes in, just
just
go along with like if you're the one that's playing. But yeah, probably low key, I was still addicted to toys.
now that I think about it, yeah, bro, you just use me because I wouldn't even touch the toys. I would just you would almost
What do
like
you mean?
it was almost like a performance where you would like you would put on like a story, and there was a whole plot and everything, and there would
Well, it's
like
because
and I would just sit there watching and you were like doing everything, and to me it was like theater almost.
like I said, think times then were different. Like we used to play with toys, not so much with technology. Like nowadays, kids, that's how they do
Mhm.
phones, tablets, uh, game consoles, and stuff like that. And back then there was a Nintendo,
Mhm.
but my mom was a firm believer that the Nintendo was a devil. You know?
Yeah. Like Waterboy.
Yeah, like she wouldn't let us play Nintendo. Like the only times that we played Nintendo was my cousin Ruben was around,
Mhm.
and he had a Nintendo, and she would only let us play for an hour. You guys can only play for an hour, and after that, you guys gotta go outside and play. Like she didn't want us to be in front of a TV all day.
Yeah.
So I think because of that, like I would always play with action figures, and I would make in my imagination was so crazy. I guess that I would
Mhm.
make like stories. I would make like a whole movie, dude.
Yeah.
I would spend hours playing in my room. I remember with
Yeah.
my action figures.
Yeah, and you kind of taught me that. You did teach me that because, like, after you stopped playing with me, I would I would play with myself. Toys. We're still talking about toys.
We're still talking about the toys, right?
Yeah. Um, but yeah, no, it was different times, and I'm kind of glad. I regret I all of the toys that I had, I kept them till I was older, and I gave them to Ethan, your son, one of your kids, and I don't know what happened to him. He says last time I asked him, he says they're like in a storage somewhere, and I'm like, damn, I should have never given them to him.
Bro, I was like, I had so many toys, bro. Um, and I remember going to El Rancho because sometimes we would spend the Christmas in El Rancho over there in Mexico in Chihuahua. Uh, Shout out to all the family over there, and they gave me a Ninja Turtle for Christmas, a toy, right? And I remember one of our little cousins, uh, El Moy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Moy. I don't know if he watches it or not. Moises, he's our cousin. He was younger than me, but they were more. They didn't have the toys that we had. You know, they had
Hmm.
different stuff. And he always wanted a Ninja Turtle. Y luego he actually told me like, "Me regalas una tortuguita? Like, can I have a Ninja Turtle?" And I was young. You know how the kids are. They're like, "Fuck no, they're not gonna share." I was like, "No, like it's mine. I just got it. Like hell no."
Yeah.
And he would beg me like, "Can I have a tortuguita? Like, me regalas una tortuguita?" Y luego I'd be like, "No, fuck no, fuck off." You know.
That's fucked up, dude.
Now, but then I grew up and I regretted it, bro. Like, cause I always remember that. Like, I remember always asking me like, "Hey," because they desire those kind of toys that they didn't have over there. You know,
Hmm.
the American toys.
Yeah.
And I mean, take it that our parents every time we go to the rancho, our parents always took toys for them.
Hmm.
That was the thing. My dad throughout the year they would collect, they would buy the toys and stuff. Like, and when we go to the rancho, they would take all the kids over there a toy, like an American toy. You know.
Yeah. Even now, like in the recent times when we've gone to visit, they don't take toys anymore, but I remember like every time we would go over there, my parents would take like clothes that wouldn't fit us anymore or just random shit. We like beaner pack the car and the van,
Mhm.
whatever we would go and we would take everything over there.
Yeah, definitely we will go bless the family over there with stuff, with clothes.
You know, you were talking about like how we didn't have technology back then, but I do remember that you ended up buying a PlayStation or you got I don't know if what happened with that
No,
PS1?
I bought my first PlayStation from a friend from school.
Uh-huh.
Um, I don't remember how much he sold it to me for, but I was already working because I would work like in the summers. I would work at the hotel. I was like the pool boy, and our friend Julio would hire us to go clean the AC units from the rooms and stuff like that. The it was a Holiday Inn back then,
Yeah.
behind the Burger King.
Hmm.
It was a Holiday Inn back then. It was brand new, so we would maintenance like the pool and stuff like that. So we make a little money here and there, you know. So I ended up buying the PlayStation from a friend from school, and I brought it home, and I was all excited, dude. My mom got mad. She
Yeah.
wanted to trash it. I was like, no, dude. Like I paid for this, you know.
Yeah.
And trash it.
That didn't last very long, that PlayStation, huh?
Nah, it didn't last. I don't remember what happened to it, but I think my mom ended up making me get rid of it.
She did. And this is my version of that and what I remember. And I think that's when like my first video game experience happened was with that PlayStation. And you had one of the games, I don't remember if it was a demo or it was actually the full game, but it was Twisted Metal.
Hmm.
And I used to love playing that game, dude. And I would play it at the house whenever you were gone and shit. And
Oh
I think she saw me playing it and she saw the one of the characters, Sweet Tooth the clown. And
yeah,
he's like a clown with like a flaming head and he's like the devil.
yeah.
So she saw that and after she got mad at me and she didn't want me playing that shit anymore.
I think I ended up giving it to Popeyine, bro.
El
My
Justin?
Yeah, he was the girlfriend that I had back then. My
Yeah.
girlfriend's little brother. I think I ended up giving it to him or selling it to them or something. I don't know.
Damn.
Because I remember when I would go over there,
Uh-huh.
I would still play it over there. And I was young, dude. I was like 14, 15, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, those are the good old days.
Yeah, back then it was different, bro. Like, and I used to always play soccer too. Since I was little, I was playing soccer.
Speaking of that,
Yeah,
we got to play soccer together.
yeah, for sure.
Do you remember this? Do you remember this?
Damn, bro. You still have
I
it?
still have it, dude.
I don't even know I still have mine, dude. I might still have it, dude.
I was gonna wear it, but that shit fit me hella tight, bro.
What size is it?
That's like a medium or small. I don't know. I think it was a small.
Bro, el Revu?
Yeah.
Shout out to all the Revu friends, dude. All the players.
Yeah.
Man, those were some good times, bro. So, excuse me. So when we were playing with El Revu, I think I had already kind of retired a little bit from soccer for a little bit
Hmm.
because I got married the first time, you know. And I wouldn't play. I stopped playing for a long time. I I, I ended up getting all fat and yeah, whatever, you know, like
Yeah.
that happens. You know, you gain weight and shit. But then I wanted to make a comeback, and I guess one of our friends, he's like, "Hey, I'm putting the team together," and it was Horacio, right?
Yeah.
He's the one that started it.
Yeah.
Horacio, Pastor Horacio now, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to la novia del cordero, Pastor Horacio. Um, he put the team together, and hey, let's start it. Let's go. Let's do it. You know. So yeah, I ended up making a little comeback, and we were playing for El Revo for a while. Revolution.
That was my first soccer team.
Yeah.
Ever, like that we played like an actual team. I was probably like I don't know, like 15 maybe.
Yeah.
And that was my prime, dude.
We used to call you el chicharito, ¿no? O
Chicharito.
el chichorizo, te decía el pelón.
El chichorizo.
It's funny, bro, because you would actually score.
I was good, bro.
You were like literally like Chicharito, where you would make like the weirdest goals,
I had like an awkward style, huh?
like awkward goals, dude.
Yeah.
But you would make goals, and we would be like, "What the fuck?" Like we couldn't believe it, you know?
I remember one of my best goals ever, and I'll never forget this one. Was Era un centro de Mayito. We were running, and Mayito was taking it. He was a midfielder. He was running it, se le llevó por toda la banda. And I'm just like running, following him. And a lot of the time I would just follow the ball or follow the play. And I remember looking at him and he like looks over and then he kicks it. And it was actually from this side. So he like sends the centro and I'm just running and he hit it so perfect that it'll hit like right where my head was at. And I just like tapped it in. And that was a badass goal, dude.
Yeah, I remember.
That one was like, and I couldn't even believe it. But my thing was, I think it was mainly him, how good his accuracy was. And I just happened to be at the right place at the right time.
Bro, that was amazing goal. I mean, Maito was badass. Mario
Yeah.
Alarcon. That guy was pretty cool, dude. But I think the reason he played so well is because he was always high.
Him and David.
Him and David. They were two of our best players, bro. They were always high.
Yeah.
Le decíamos los Pokemons, eh? But allegedly they were high. We don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But
No, they were fucking high.
but that was a good goal, bro.
Yeah.
That was a good goal.
There were some good ones.
And I remember do you remember that time they kicked you in the nuts?
Yeah.
Bro. We were playing in Canutillo.
Yeah.
We were playing Canutillo League that day.
In Gallegos.
In Gallegos Park.
And they're fucking dirty there.
Bro, like that guy he didn't even go for the ball. He went straight to your balls. I remember that he kicked you and like he kicked you, boom, and you just jumped. Like he even picked you up, bro. That's how hard he could get you. And then you fell. And I remember I was so mad because you're like my little brother, right?
Yeah.
So we went up to him. We were going to throw down, bro. Me and Pelon, we're going to jump him. And bro, it became like it was going to become a fight, dude. They had to separate us, everybody. And you were like, we're trying to, because you couldn't breathe. You were on the floor. You were like,
yeah. I think my balls had just dropped. And then he kicked them back up, dude.
They came out through your mouth, dude.
Yeah, I was like,
that was awful, bro. I remember that. That was probably the worst. Oh, those are the worst nut chicks I ever seen.
if I never have kids, that's the reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember I was on the floor and like knocked the wind out of me and well, when you get kicked in the nuts, like it feels like cramps. So you feel it in your stomach and they were just like pumping my legs.
Yeah.
For like my balls to drop.
We're grabbing your legs going like that.
Yeah. Should have done the whole cartoon thing where you just like
Bro, that was awful. That was really bad. I remember.
Yeah. I retired shortly after that.
Yeah, like you played probably less than me, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
I played like almost all my youth, all my childhood.
Yeah. And really the only reason why I played was because of you.
Mhm.
You got me into that and you paid for like my uniforms and you paid for like everything.
Sometimes I still miss it sometimes.
Yeah.
Um
Run it back, dude. One more season.
Bro, like some guy from work he told me like, "Hey, well Irvin, you know Irvin. Right?
Yeah.
If I wanted to join a team, it's all veterans. It's all veteranos, like 30 and up, And he's like, yeah, like it's like 5-on-5 and this and that. And I thought about it. I even told Sally, like, babe, I think I still got
One more season.
one more season in me. I still got it. Like, and she's like, well, if you think you can, go for it. But deep inside, I know she was thinking like, fuck.
Bro, you'll be like the Rocky of soccer.
I'm 43 years old, bro, but I don't know. I think if I can get in shape, I might still have one more season. I don't know. But no, it's because the reality is that like your mind, like sometimes like thinks something, but then your body doesn't comply with your mind, with your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the last times when I was playing, I was already in my 30s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was the last time I played was like 8 years ago. And even then, even though for that time that I was playing, I played for like a year. I came back for like a year, and I got in pretty good shape. Like I was on it, bro. I was scoring. I got in pretty badass shape. But it took me a while, and my body doesn't recover the same anymore.
Yeah.
I remember I would play like one day in the weekend on Sundays or Saturdays. It would take me like the whole week to recover. My body was hurting all fucking week, like pain, like my bones, everything. Imagine now, 43 years old. 10 minutes into the game, I'll be
Just get on testosterone, dude.
well. Yeah, I mean, there's always that option.
There's always that.
There's always get on the sauce,
Get
but
on the sauce.
I'm scared of that.
Yeah. So there was another thing I want to talk to you about, and we're gonna transition here. It might get a little deep. Um, and the reason I want to talk to you about this is because I don't think we've ever had like an actual conversation about it, and it's about our mom. You know, our mom. For those of you guys have seen the pod, or if you don't know, um, our mom passed away. We're going on 3 years now this November. Um, and actually, like we're in August right now. Her birthday's coming up, August 30th, in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So, I just wanted to kind of get your side of it because, for one, like I said, we've never really had that conversation. I think we've like text, here or there, but I think as like, for one, we're guys, and guys tend to not really talk about shit like that unless like we have to.
Yeah.
Right? It's an awkward subject. We don't want to get too deep. Um and yeah, man, I just wanted to, well, to begin with, I want to ask you, how would you describe our mom? For those who, I mean, they didn't get the honor to meet her, but well, what is your your recollection of her? Like, how would you describe her as a person?
Damn, bro. I have so many memories of my mom. Obviously, like I love my mom with all my heart. She was like she was my support, She was my shoulder to cry on. She was always there. She was an unconditional love. That's how I
Mm-hmm.
describe my mom. Unconditional love. No matter how many times you messed up, no matter what you did, no matter what, my mom always forgave me. My mom always supported me. My mom was always there. Um, that's emotionally wise. Uh, I remember my mom was very hardworking.
Mm-hmm.
My mom always worked too, like, and it was like she had her own job, right? She could work, and she would still come home, cook for my dad and for us every day.
Mm-hmm.
There was always a hot meal, like waiting for us, no matter what. Even if she was tired, she was always cooking. She was always washing, ironing. She was like the typical, hardworking Mexican mother.
Mm-hmm.
Loving. She was very loving. Um, my dad was always more like the enforcer.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm the man of the house. Like whenever he needed, he would whoop our ass.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom was always there to be there after the whooping.
Yeah.
Like she will
Nurturing.
nurturing us
Yeah.
and yeah, man, bro. Like
Do you have a favorite moment about her that comes to mind?
a favorite moment.
Mm-hmm.
I have so many good moments with my mom, bro. It's kind of hard to pinpoint which one was my favorite, but and this is something that I always tell Sally. I always remember because sometimes man, we really got to do this on my first podcast.
Yeah.
uh, Sometimes when Sally's cooking and she's in the kitchen, whatever, and I sit there and we're chatting, I remember I used to do that with my mom. Like living here with them, I would be home from school, whatever, and she would be there in the kitchen cooking. My mom always had something to talk about, dude.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
My mom was never quiet. My mom always talked and she was always happy. Even when she was sick and stuff, like she was always happy, dude. And she was always had something to talk about, like, and it was interesting. And sometimes I would just sit there in the kitchen table, and then I would just listen to her talk. She'd be
Mm-hmm.
cooking, she'd be talking, and I would just sit there and look at her. and I would just listen to her, or I'll talk with her. We would have conversations. Like she'll ask me about this, that, whatever, or she'll bitch and complain about something or whatever, and that's what I remember about her. Like we would always have conversations.
Yeah.
Even when I would take her to the mandado driving, we were always talking about something.
She was also the type of person that she can talk to anybody. I
Mhm.
mean, we'd be out on the streets, like grocery store or wherever shopping, anywhere that we were at. She always like made friends and she always started talking to people.
She was very outgoing, bro.
Yeah.
She was like a people person, definitely 100%. She had friends everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. No matter where we went, she always knew somebody, and people always loved her.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one thing that people remember about my mom, that she was very friendly.
Yeah.
She would, you know, my friends would come home. I would bring my friends, and she was always there, like catering to my friends too.
Mm-hmm.
Like she'll make us food and shit like
Yeah. Um,
that.
were there any moments with her that um kind of like the opposite where you wish you can like how do I say this? Not necessarily like take back or like anything that you would want to redo?
Probably mostly, I made her cry a few times,
Mhm.
um, because of my actions, and there was always some stuff that I did, and I guess those times are the ones that I would probably take back, not do them again.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get into detail, but um, well, I'll say one, like when I ran away.
Mhm. I remember that one.
I ran away with some girl. Um,
You were young too.
yeah, and I was stupid, you know.
Kind of still are. Sorry. Just kind of had to throw it out there.
So I ran away with this girl a girlfriend I used to have,
Mhm.
and we took off like a weekend, and we were gonna get married supposedly, and this and that, and my mom was devastated, my dad was devastated. They were like, "Why?" My pastor was devastated because the pastor loved me a lot, and he was always like Pastor Jose Luis El Barbon, we used to call him. He was always like a father figure to me too. He was very close to our family. So when I ran away, he came to the house and he went out there with my dad looking for me and stuff like that. I was in a rebellious stage of my life. And I ended up changing my mind and I came back. When I came back, the first thing that I saw was my mom sitting on the couch crying, like, "Why are you doing this to me?"
Mhm.
Yeah, that was a shitty moment. Um, I would definitely take that one back.
Yeah. I think you, despite like all of the, because you were always kind of, I don't want to say you were the black sheep because like you're not like a terrible person, but you did go you did do more things to kind of my mom que decía le sacabas canas verdes.
I was very
Hard-headed, I think is the word.
Yeah, and I always like to live my life however I wanted to live it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hated being controlled, and I would always do things out of impulse too.
Mhm.
How I was feeling at the moment, I would do it without thinking. And that was always my problem, dude. I was very impulsive, I guess.
Yeah. I think that's where me and you differ a lot, where I feel like I'm the complete opposite, where I'm
Hmm.
very um and
You
and maybe it is because of like, what I've seen you go through. I don't know, I've never really sat down to like think about it, but yeah, I'm very like I need to think things through over and over and over, and like sometimes I overthink and sometimes like I'm not impulsive.
Mhm.
I don't make any choices. I kind of just sit back and let shit unfold.
Yeah. It's crazy because when it comes to my job, I'm very I double, triple think everything.
Mhm.
For some reason, I've learned when I do my job, like I'm the thinker, you know? But in my personal life, like growing up and my previous years, and I've always done things sometimes without seeing the consequences. At the moment, it's something that I feel like I want to do. Like this is
Yeah.
what I want. This is what I want to do. Nobody's gonna tell me different. But I do not see the consequences after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're very emotionally led is what it
Exactly.
is.
I'm very emotionally led, and then yeah, I I did. I made my mom cry a lot, but I think I gave her more joys than cries.
And I think regardless of that, I always and I've we used to joke around with this with Amy with her sister. Like, I feel like you were always her favorite.
I was.
Yeah,
I definitely was.
yeah.
I'm joking.
No, I feel like there was that,
You were the favorite, dude. You were the youngest one. She never hit you.
but I think that was more like because like I was the baby, you know.
I think they had you when they were older and more mature.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. And since they had me and Amy when they were like practically teenagers, you know,
Yeah.
like me and Amy would get slapped, would get smacked. Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
my mom wouldn't even. She would just fucking throw her hand, and she wouldn't see where it's landing. You know, just wherever it lands, that's where it goes. You know,
Yeah.
but
But she would get very excited
she had a soft
whenever.
spot for me.
Yeah, like she had like a very soft spot. Like no matter what, like even if you would just call her, like her mood would change and she was all happy and stuff. And
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, this fucking dumbass just called you or something.
It's because even though I fucked up many times, like I would always come to her. You know, I was always very close to her emotionally. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I wouldn't close myself to her. Like I always told her how I felt. I always told her my problems, and she always had something nice to tell me,
Yeah.
comforting.
Yeah.
Even though I fucked up, she wouldn't kick me down. You know,
Yeah.
she would always bring me up.
Mm-hmm.
That was my mom. Um, like I said earlier, unconditional love. She had unconditional love for me, and there was a time that I did separate from my parents a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was already married. I had my own thing going on, and I think that would hurt her because I wouldn't call her as often. And it's funny because it's like when you're there when you're young, you're like, well, mom, like you're still my mom. Like just because I don't call you a day or two or a week or a month, you know,
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you're not my mom. I still love you. You know, I just have shit going on. You know, I have things going on in my life. But now I see it. Now that I'm a father and my kids are grown up and stuff, I see it and I feel it now. Like, and now I understand how my mom felt back then when I wouldn't call her for like a week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, sometimes Alexa doesn't text me, doesn't call me, and then I call her, or sometimes she won't answer and stuff like that. But sometimes we don't talk, like, and stuff like that, and I feel like, or she won't. I'll tell her, "Oh, you're gonna come over this weekend?" Because when she was young, like I would pick her up on my weekends and stuff, and it
Mm-hmm.
was for sure that I'll have her. But now when they start doing their own thing, it's kind of like, "Oh, Dad, I got stuff to do. Oh, I'm gonna go out with my friends. I'm gonna go out with a boy, you know." And it's like when are you gonna have time for me, you know?
Yeah.
And I get it, and I understand. I totally understand that now. And I think those were the one of the things that my mom, like, she would get hurt
Mm-hmm.
when I wouldn't call her, and then when I would finally call her, she'll be like, "Oh, finally you call me. Ahora hasta que te indignas en hablarme y no te acuerdas que tienes madre." You
Yeah.
know, she would give me the whole pep talk, and I'm like, "Mom, you know, I still love you." But after I would sweet talk her a little bit, and she would get happy again. You know, hey, let's
Yeah.
go eat Chinese food.
Yeah.
Vámonos a la comida china, ma.
Yeah.
Okay, she'll forget about everything.
Yeah. I got a little bit of that um, when I was with my ex, and I would go stay with her pretty much for like the weekend. I would go stay, and I wouldn't I wouldn't call or text because for me, like for one, like I lived here, so I'm like I'm always here.
Mhm.
So like that was like my little getaway. And after like like literally a day of me not calling or anything, she would call me and just to like see how I was. And I'm like, Mom, it's just been one day, like chill out, you know?
Mhm.
And it was kind of like I think even at the beginning when I was in my relationship and with some of like the other girls that I've dated, she almost kind of got like jealous of them.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
would get
yeah.
she would get like a little jealous and stuff.
That was my mom.
Hmm.
I guess because 'cause we're the boys, we were her boys.
Hmm.
A lot of the times, those girls weren't good enough for us.
Yeah. Which just kidding.
But you know what? She loved Sally.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I wanna make this really clear, like, she really, really did love Sally a lot,
Yeah.
and, she would always tell me, like, "Don't fuck this one up," you know? But
How do you think you've changed since in the last 2.5, well, almost 3 years now since losing mom?
man, bro, like, I think losing your mother, it changes your whole life. It changes everything. Um, the the first few weeks, days, months when she passed away, it was very hard, bro.
Hmm.
It was very hard. Like, because I was so used to calling her. The last few years before she passed away, they were good years. That's why I'm so happy that we got those few good years because I would call her every day. I would check on her every day after work, you know, before work, whatever. So when she passed away, I missed that, like calling her every day. Like sometimes I'd be driving on my way to work and I start crying because like, damn, I can't call my mom anymore, you know?
Hmm.
Or when I needed something, when I was going through some problems and stuff, she was always listening there
Yeah.
and she always had something to tell us, a consejo, you know? And you don't have that anymore. Like, who do you go to now? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I call Amy now, my sister, my older sister. I think she took that kind of in a weird way. She took that role
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
of my mom. Like nobody's gonna ever replace my mother, right? But Amy kind of took that role because sometimes when I'm going through shit, when I'm going through things, like I'll call Amy and see what she has to say, you know, because it reminds me of my mom, and she has a lot of my mom too.
Hmm.
It's weird. Like it's weird that I used to hate Amy, and now I love her like that. You know what? I'm just playing. I don't hate you, but me
But
and
but
me
you
and
guys would clash a lot.
me and Amy had that typical brother and sister thing growing up. You know, we would fight every day, dude,
Yeah.
every day. But now that we're older already, more mature, like uh, she plays that role now. She plays that role, I think, in
Hmm.
the family.
Yeah. No, definitely. Um, I think another thing that, mom passing away brought us even closer together.
Yeah,
I mean, we've always been pretty tight, I think, as a family, and I credit that to my parents that they were always very family oriented and we always got together for stuff.
yeah,
But I feel like within these last couple of years, even like our cousin Sarai now, she's gotten like really close to us. She's kind of like back and she's like our other, almost like a sibling. Um,
yeah, definitely.
but I think it's that feeling of like you value family more now.
Yeah,
And for me, that's been a huge thing. And I've always valued family. I've always loved my family, but now I don't take it for granted.
yeah,
Now I try to be there as much as possible, and I try to like savor moments whenever we're together. And it's kind of a shitty lesson that you have to learn. Like the way I learned it is a very shitty way, but I don't
Mm.
I don't regret any of it. I think it's gotten me closer with like my dad. Like we're roommates now. We're like homies. He's
And you're right. We got closer to him. Our dad was always our dad, you know.
mm-hmm,
But like I said, he was always like the enforcer, that the head of the household. The We never had deep conversations with him.
yeah.
He was always working, home, working, the weekends church. yeah, we'll go out like once a weekend and stuff and eat. But he never interacted with us that much
Mhm.
back then. It was morely my mom, you know?
Yeah.
Or if both of them were together and we sit down and we talk about stuff, like it was always my mom talking.
Yeah,
My dad just kind of backing her up.
he was just like the muscle.
Yeah, just the muscle.
Yeah.
Exactly. And now it did bring us closer to him.
Mhm.
And I think he opened up more to us and it brought us all together. And I think now, yeah, I appreciate family time a lot more now because you never know. You never know. I love our vacations as a family. I love our gatherings, our cookouts, our parties, everything. Like,
Mhm.
and I try to bring in my kids like that. Like I want to make them like used to that, like growing up with that, like close to the family.
Yeah, bro, 'cause at the end of the day, and, I've learned this. I I feel like I feel like I'm the type of person that I learned my lesson the first time. I don't it doesn't take a lot of, like, failures for me to learn something. I pick it up pretty quick. One of those lessons early on in when it comes to dealing with grief and loss was when, a good friend, Lisa, passed away. I was, what, 20 years old? She was 20 years old, we weren't even 21 yet. She passed away in a drinking and driving accident, and that was my first real heartbreak, and, like, first time that I experienced such a loss like that because she was a really close friend, and I remember the first person I called was you. I found out on my way to work. I worked at the outlet at Old Navy at the time, and I found out driving there, and, I remember I parked, and I was kind of just like, I'm this 20-year-old kid who just found out that one of his best friends that he loved, like, died, and I had just talked to her, like, the day before, the night before. So I was, like, fucking devastated, man. Like, it was fucking terrible, and I remember I called you, and I couldn't even, like, talk. I remember all I said was, like, "She's dead," or something like that, and I just started crying.
She's gone.
"She's gone," yeah, and
I remember the phone call. I've never ever heard you talk like that or cry like that. When you called me, I was like, and I was scared because you think the worst when you get those calls.
mhm,
You call me and all you say, "She's gone, bro. She's gone." And I'm like, "Who the fuck are you talking about? Who like, who? You know?"
mhm.
And then you told me what happened, and I was like, "Damn." But I remember that I could hear the voice, your voice, bro. You were in pain that day. It was pretty bad.
Been thinking a lot about grief because I dealt with that loss very different than the loss of our mom, and even though I feel like the loss of my mom was a bigger loss, but that taught me and that kind of prepared me to it because after Lisa passed away, I kind of went into a dark place, man. I remember I didn't want to be around you guys. I didn't want to be around the family. I kind of just wanted to keep to myself, and I would put on a front a lot of the times that I was okay, but I wasn't. I was hurting really bad. I There was nights where I couldn't sleep just thinking about it, and I feel like it was like a really dark year that I didn't let anybody know. It was just kind of like my thing. I dealt with it little by little with time. And so when it came to mom, I didn't want to go to that dark place anymore. Like I didn't want to go through that same grief. Um and I did it. And I thank you guys, and I also thank you know, my girlfriend at the time. She got me through a lot of that. And I think about grief because, recently there was that police officer, the sheriff from Cruces that passed away, and I saw a lot of people on my story posting about him. And even just yesterday, somebody was talking about him, saying how she didn't she didn't realize what grief was until like now that she's experiencing it. And that's something that a lot of people don't realize until it happens. And when it happens, it's like, holy shit.
You don't realize that until it hits you, it hits home.
Hmm.
Like I've had like my grandfather die or my grandmother die before. People that we know that passed away, but the passing of my mom, that was just, it was a whole different level, bro. I think that's when I realized what hurt really is.
Mhm.
I don't think I've ever been so hurt in my life, ever. Like that one hurt me like bad. And Sally can tell you, like, I did pretty bad for a long time. Like, just I would just wake up crying, dude. I wake up crying for nothing. I would just sit there on the side of my bed when I would wake up, and I would just start crying. Like, it was bad, dude. Like, you lose your mother. Like, that's like the pillar of the family, you know?
Mhm.
The mom, like, everything revolves around her, you know, like the holidays. What are you gonna do in the holidays now? The birthdays, the parties, the cookouts, the gatherings. Like, she's not there anymore. How do you deal with that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know what you were going through personally, but like, you seem probably the strongest out of everybody. Me and Amy will call each other, and sometimes we couldn't even talk. We would just cry talking to each other.
Pussies.
Like,
Just kidding.
like for real, dude. Like, we would just cry. Like, she would tell me, "I miss her. I miss her too," and then we would just start crying.
Yeah.
And I think, like, you think you were, I don't know if you were doing it for your my dad, or for everybody, like acting strong, or I don't know, bro. But I think this is the moment I felt the weakest in my whole life. I've always tried to be a strong person, and I've always felt like, oh, I'll get over it. I'll 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 get over it. I'll beat this, you know. But with this one, just brought me down to my knees, and it just humbled me like nothing ever has done.
I think for me, for one, like I said, I had already dealt with it at that level. Well, not at that level, but I had that experience with losing Lisa kind of prepped me for that. The other thing was, yeah, bro, I think seeing everybody so broken. I've never seen. Here's the thing. In all the years, I had only seen my dad cry like maybe once. That was when grandma died. After that, I had never seen my dad cry. And then my mom passing, I saw my dad cry so many fucking times, you know. And me living with him here, like I got to see him like at his lowest. You know, it was just kind of, and that's something you never want to see with your dad because it's like your dad. You know, you always think of your dad as like strong man, like Superman or something. And
Yeah.
he was so fucking broken. And like Amy would call me, like it just, I felt like everybody was just devastated, and I felt like I couldn't show that weakness because I don't know if it was like my pride or my ego, but I felt like I needed to be that pillar. Um, Even with like the whole setting up the funeral and all that stuff, like I kind of just like took it over, you know, and I'm like, I'll worry about the funeral stuff, like, you know. Um, but I don't know what that was, and I don't know where I got that strength from. God probably, my mom maybe, I don't know, but I still hurt, man. I hurt a lot, and I think, like I said, it would have been worse if I didn't have like love and support. I got a
Yeah.
lot of love from different areas, and um, even now, like I still, it's different. And this is what I was gonna ask you, like, how has the grief like changed for you within the last 2 years? And if so, like, what would you advise for someone going through something like that?
Well, I guess after time passes, I don't know if there's the right word to say, you get used to it,
Hmm.
or it just numbs you, or because at first, obviously, it's fresh, you know. So, like, I was constantly crying, dude. Like, I would just think about my mom, and I would start crying, like, for driving anywhere that I was at work. And now it's kind of like, I'm kind of like, I accept it now, I guess.
Hmm.
I guess at first you can't believe it, and you don't know what to do. You're confused. You're like, what am I gonna do now without her? You know. But now I accept it and I know where she's at, and now I just think about the nice memories. I just think about like we're doing right now, just thinking about the good times,
Yeah.
and it's still there. The pain's still there. I don't think it ever goes away.
Mhm.
It doesn't ever go away, but it's not as bad. Like you kind of learn how to live with it
Yeah.
and uh and accept it. You know,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we're all going there. At the end of the day, we don't live forever, and this is something that I don't like to talk about because I get anxiety of thinking about it. If I sit there and talk about it or just think about it, like about death, and it's crazy because it started when my mom passed away. After my mom's passing, I hate talking about death. When Sally tells me like, "Oh, this and this passed away," this and like, I kind of acknowledge it and okay, cool, but I don't like to talk about it. I hate it.
Yeah. It traumatized you.
Yeah, like because I'm like, I don't want to die.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had a close call, with COVID,
Yeah.
but I don't think I'm ready to go yet. And yeah, dude, like I miss my mom, and she was a perfect mom, bro. Like I have nothing to complain about my mother.
Mhm.
She was perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. She really was. Um, I would say as far as like the whole death thing, bro. Uh, I've, I've I'm a firm believer, that it's all in God's hands, and
Mm.
when it's your time, it's your time.
Yeah,
We don't know, we never know. So I mean, it's easier said than done, but I wouldn't try to stress about it. And all I would say is just make sure everything's in check. So when the day does come,
yeah. And live your life.
yeah,
Don't don't spend your life working and working and working, not spending time with your family. And that's one thing that we try to do. Excuse me. Like yeah, I work. I have my job and everything. I put my hours in, but I don't give my life to that job anymore.
hmm,
I have given so much to that job that at the same time it has taken away from me too. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's taken a lot away from me, and I don't allow that no more. It's not taking no more from me. Now the only reason I work is to make that money so I can go on my trips
yeah,
and enjoy my time with my family. That's it. I don't have a fat bank account, like savings account, whatever, but I do go out a lot. We enjoy it. We enjoy our time together and stuff. Like that's something that I've learned to value more. Like do stuff, like if we waste time working and being slaves, then we're never gonna do shit. We're gonna die, and even if you do have a fat savings account, it's gonna stay there in the bank. You never enjoyed it.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
You feel me?
I feel you. I feel you, dog. What's a big goal or a dream that you want to accomplish now? Now that you're in your 40s, man.
I think my biggest goal right now is just to stay healthy and live long enough to enjoy my time with my family.
Hmm.
Because if we're talking career wise, I think I've accomplished a lot already.
Yeah,
As far as my career, I think I fulfilled like all the goals that I've had, except for retiring yet, obviously. But I'm already at the rank that I want to be. I'm already doing what I like. Um, in that part, I'm already accomplished. Like I have nothing else to prove. Now like I say, my main goal is to retire healthy so I can enjoy my life. I got a few more years to before I can retire, and but when I do retire, I don't wanna die like a lot of people. They retire and they die.
yeah,
That's like I don't know if it's a myth or like a something that does really happen, but a lot of people that retire, they pass away. They say. I'm gonna retire young. I'll be in my early 50s. I can retire my 47
hmm,
when I'm 47. I can retire in 3.5 years, but I'm gonna push a few more years, and I'll be in my early 50s. I'm still young, dude. I want to do stuff.
just take me with you on your vacations.
For sure, bro. For sure. I got a couple coming up.
Yeah.
I want to see my kids fulfilling their dreams. Like I want to see Alexa graduating college. I want to see her maybe one day marrying a good man and having kids, eating the same.
Mhm.
Like all my kids. I wanna see them grow up.
Yeah, man. Nah, you'll get there. Yeah, just keep running. Lay off the burgers.
And it's hard, bro.
Yeah.
I just want to be healthy enough. Like I know I'm never gonna be a health freak anymore. There was a point where I was doing pretty good, but now it's like, like I keep my blood pressure good. Like I can still run. I can still,
Mhm.
you know.
All right, man. Final question. I just thought of it. Who's your favorite, me or Amy?
Damn.
I'm just kidding, bro. You don't have to answer. We know the answer already.
I would say that. I'll answer that in a heartbeat.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Um Again, thanks for stopping by and having this conversation. It's never easy, man. But I'm glad we had it. It was good.
You had the family books and everything, the
Y-
picture books.
Yeah, I got some photos in there that I was gonna use as reference, but I'll pop them up there.
Oh yeah.
And this is I I love going through these. We have three like big old family albums, and we have a ton of photos. This is like before Instagram, there was family
Hell yeah.
albums, and we have these filled, and there's a ton of photos, and there's pictures of like there's a whole section for you, there's a whole section for my sister, and there's like a whole book for me. Um, 'cause
There's VHS too somewhere. I know there is.
yeah,
I think they're in the attic.
yeah.
There's a bunch of VHS cassette players, movies, of vacations, of parties, Amy's quinceañera.
So like I treasure these, man. I sometimes I just go in there, and then you know, and even going back because there's a lot of pictures of my mom, and whenever I don't know, whenever I feel that I just go through. Um, but yeah, I wanted to bring these out to show some of that, and yeah, man, just say that you're my big brother. You always have been. I've always looked up to you, and I love you, bro.
Well, I love you too, bro. I mean, still be calling me in the night asking me what am I doing. You call me and I'm like, I had like the ugliest feeling. I'm like, this fool's gonna end himself.
So when we did the neon paint party, when I called him live on the podcast, and I was just like, "Hey, bro, what are you doing?"
Bro, I was watching. It was some fights, dude. But I was dozing off already. I was in the sofa, and then you call me, and it's weird that you call me like that,
Yeah.
And then you started asking me, "What's up, man?" And and it was just weird. It was just weird, and I got a weird vibe of it. And I'm like, "Are you okay? Like, dude, like, do I have to go save you or what? You
Oh,
know?"
fuck. Yeah, dude, we were laughing. Shit was funny. But yeah, man. No, I'm good.
And then I heard Louis talk and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. We're gonna wrap it up here. Again, thanks for stopping by and sharing. This is it's definitely one of my favorite pods.
Oh
So,
yeah.
so thanks for coming back
I'm
and
taking over
taking over.
slowly, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, you might have to, bro. You might have
You
to.
slacking, bro.
I'm gonna retire soon.
Honestly, you slacking, bro. For real. Like I I hit up this guy all the time. Hey, when are you gonna shoot up a pod, bro? Like, you know? I'm used to the episodes coming out like every Monday, and then when they don't come out, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my hardest, but yeah, right now, with the whole Marlac thing going on and me
Yeah.
trying to find is mainly just trying to find a balance because I think I can do it. I just need to adjust to like this new lifestyle of freelance videographer and yeah, once I get used to that, then we'll get more pods out there. But thank you guys so much for watching this episode, and we'll see you soon. I don't know when. Well, I don't know. Maybe next week, maybe the week after. I don't know. We'll see.
Taking over, baby. I'm taking over. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you.
Going boy.